Yeah, we know that we're just kicking it here behind the scenes, guys. We'll be live here in a few. You're not the only one with no sound. It is the fourth quarter of 2021. The question of the night: are relationships obsolete? Are relationships dead? Is dating dead? We're going to open up the phone lines later to see what you guys think. The panel discusses that next. The Six starts right now. What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to Season 5, Episode 1 of The Six. It is Sunday, October the 24th of 2021. It is good to have you all in this evening. I'm going to tell you what, you guys know that I had a recent bout with the Rona, the COVID. It's good to be back in the saddle. Listen, you guys didn't tune in to hear me run my mouth. Let me introduce this season's esteemed panel. First up, the cleanest dressed dude on the panel. His studio is so tight you'd swear it was green screen. No, it's the real thing. It is the new clean shaven Coach Everett Overton. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's good, guys? Good to be back. Here representing the Champion Game brand. It's good to see the BOA back in here, Minister Jab, everybody, man. The newcomer Kevin. We got a good topic tonight. I am Coach EO, and let's get it. Thank you.
I like that jacket too. If it comes up missing, I didn't do
Thank
it.
you.
Next on the panel, representing the Dirty South, is your boy who pulls absolutely no punches. It is the Book of Alpharonomy. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Good to be back in the saddle, man. We kind of We had a few things happen to us last season, man. They were running interference on us, man, but we back full swing. We're going to knock this thing out the park. Hell of a topic tonight, man.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
Great way to start the season.
Absolutely. Next up, of course, is the ordained minister of the streets and one of the original OGs of the original six. It's Minister Jap going hard on these single mom hoes. What's up?
You already know, man. Minister Jap, Chi-Town, man. Appreciate bringing me back another season, man. We're doing good work, man. Shout out to Donovan and everybody on the panel, man. Everybody, let's really cook.
Yo, listen, man. We were talking about this off the air. You and me been in this since the beginning, man. We done seen it go, bro.
We gonna keep this shit going, bro.
You know it till I'm old and gray. Next up, of course, the man that they call the Black Tony Stark. No, they call Black Tony Stark the White Hotep Jesus. It's Hotep Jesus.
That Hotep Jesus dude.
What's going on, Hotep?
No!
I swear to God, Hotep always has some new shit going on in the background, man. You got to unmute yourself.
That Hotep Jesus dude.
Fuck it. All right. I guess he's just going to talk like that. Okay. Next up, of course, is our newcomer, recording artist, independent filmmaker. He is Kevin Savo. Kevin, what's going on, man?
What's going on, fellas? Good to be here. Yes, I'm Savo at the moment, oddly kind of known in the sphere for doing the Adventures of Save a Ho show. I got a show where you take the expression, don't save hoes or don't be a Captain Save a Ho. Well, I play like a literal incarnation of that. And I do Red Pill theme music. We have a song called Thought Mommies that kind of gives you a narrative on single mothers and that whole situation. So you can find that the fellas Thought Mommies. I try to get a little creative with my manosphere related content. So thanks for having me on the program, guys.
Absolutely. Okay. How do you feel being on the Six?
It feels good, man. It makes me think, what I've had in my head all day is that the Drake song, The Six. Ain't got a song called The Six, or is it just Six?
I think
that should be your intro.
Well, I don't know. I'll probably get hit with some copyright strikes. Okay.
You know what, Donovan?
Yeah, what's up?
I gotta say this before we get started.
All right.
We got to give you your flowers in the beginning, man, before, it's too late, bro. You are like the A&R. He's like the DJ Khaled, the A&R of the manosphere. Like, this guy, he literally goes out and just goes get the talent and put it together. Like, literally, you like the Quincy Jones of this. So, man, salute to you for just going out here finding these different talented men, different mindsets, merging it together and making this show. It's a lot of people in the chat that love just watching these different ideas come together. And I got to give you your props because you put together different perspectives, but it still works cohesively. So salute to you.
Yeah, listen, salute to you guys. This is my favorite part of the week. I do a lot of different shows, but I always look forward to my panel shows. So listen, shout out to you guys for taking time out of your Sunday evenings to sit here and listen to me run my mouth. And,
shout out to Donovan for kicking Corona's ass.
Yes. Yeah, shout out. shout out to my toilets.
Bro.
Listen, shout out to my toilets for holding me up. Shout out to the medical crew. It was at I don't want to say where they're at, but they really they helped your boy out, man. They really did. So it was tough, but I got through it. So anyway, thank you guys all very much. Let's go ahead and get started. So we all know that this particular sector of the web, we all talk about how to deal with women in relationships. And one such notion that a lot of male-centric content creators like to do is they like to say, you know what, relationships are dead, dating is dead. There's no need to get married, much less get into a relationship. Now, we've all had different relationships of different lengths with different women, different situations. My question to the panel, we're going to go around the panel here. We're going to start with EO. Your thoughts on, are relationships obsolete? Is it useless for a man to be in a sexual relationship with a woman?
Definitely not. It's not useless. But in terms of longevity, I'd rather you invest all that time, energy, resources into yourself rather than a woman. I'm just going to say it right now. Okay. A relationship for today's man should be last on his mind. If you want to just date casually, recreation time, I hate to say it like this, but I'm going to say it anyway, garbage time. If you just want to have like the last thing on your list after you've taken great care of yourself, you've been working on your finances, building your career, got a wonderful household, an environment you love to dwell in, your hobbies, chop it up with your boys, that sort of thing. Watch Alabama kick some ass with BOA.
Yes, sir.
That sort of thing. So once you get it all out of the way, I say at that point you can go ahead and do a little recreation time with a female. But the only way that you should even consider upgrading a female in terms of a relationship is if she's pretty much begging you for it. I mean, she'd have to literally be begging me. May I, sir? There'd have to be, sir, may I, sir? Okay. May I please? Yes. May I please cook for you? May I come and see you? If it's not like that, I'm not even fooling up with it. I'm just going to be honest with you. Too many distractions today. Women don't have a clue as to how to treat a man. So it is a man's responsibility to coach her no matter what from scratch. No woman coming in the door is ready for a man like me, or I would say any of these gentlemen on the panel. So I'll just say this. Recreation time, not a problem. She better still respect and honor you, though. Even if it's just a fuck situation, she still got to show up on time. She still got to bring you a steak dinner. Okay, she still got to do that stuff. Otherwise you're not getting in the door. No free pumps from Coach EO. Okay. So I'll just say that. Yes, not a problem, but you got to be sharp. And I will conclude real quick with this. I wrote this earlier today as I watched the Bears get their ass whooped. Something came to mind. I'll put down here, if a man is not thriving in life, he'll always seek out a woman. Okay. If a man is succeeding in life, he'll always delay.
Whew. Wow. Okay, well, that's going to do it for the first episode of season 5 of the 6. You guys have a good night. Holy shit. What are we supposed to do now? BOA, man, EO said a lot. What are your thoughts? Because you're oh my God, you're almost sort of a hybrid between EO and myself, in that we like to coach our women hard. We like to train them hard, and we have a no nonsense, no bullshit attitude. Do you think relationships are useless these days?
I think the majority of men have wasted so much time in life. Even the best of us have wasted so much time in life that we really need to be all about business. And so if a woman fits into that business in some kind of way and she can make a contribution to it, then she starts to earn her way into a higher position. I tell my guys all the time, your life is your first business. If you can't build your life into a successful business, don't worry about trying to be an entrepreneur or any of that other shit. Okay. Build your life into the business that you want it to be. And the woman is trying to elevate herself from the mailroom to an executive corner office. Ooh. And you make her ass work her way up. She got to be getting the same way she have to do it in her career. She got to get those degrees. She got to get those certifications. She got to put that time in. She got to do all of those things and do it without getting ridden up 3 times, because then her ass get fired. So if she fits into your life from a business perspective, because you just don't have time to waste with a woman who is not helping the most important thing in your life grow. And for us as men, it may sound kind of, materialistic, but man, the most important thing to us is waking up every day, man, making sure we creating that generational wealth, man, because what man on this panel wants to still be having to work at 60, 65, 70 years old, man?
Not me. Before I go to Jap, BOA, you said something very poignant there. And it's almost like it's almost as though you said you have to run your relationship with a woman like a business. If she doesn't perform, she's fired. She's got to show up on time. She's got to do her job. She's got to climb her way up the corporate ladder. Talk to the audience about how important it is between a business and a relationship, and the relationships between those, because I think that's important.
Man, you have to look at the woman. And you have to put yourself in a position of an employee. Right. We've all had jobs before. Many men still have jobs. And when you have that job, you know that everything you get is based on performance. Right. Period. Like, and performance starts from the time you wake up, hitting the clock on time.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Going to lunch, getting back on time.
There you go.
Doing everything you need to do in a day, not getting behind, helping out others when you have to. And you have to be just like that with a woman. But the only problem is your life is a business where if one employee fucks up, your shit can tank.
Real talk.
One employee can never ruin a corporation, but one employee, one bad woman in your life, man, can ruin shit. So you have to make sure that you don't make any concessions when it comes to writing her ass up, giving a disciplinary action. You can't let your feelings get in the way. Oh, well, she, I just have to, I'm have to give her some time. Nope. So what time? She knew what the job was when you hired her ass.
Listen, on the back of that, before I go to Jap, too many of you motherfuckers are in here hiring bitches without no goddamn resume. You hire these bitches just because of the way they look. These bitches are showing up late, taking 2-hour lunches. They're on Facebook all the time. You're keeping their jobs. You're giving them raises. No wonder they treat you like shit. No wonder they take their employment for granted. Then all of a sudden you think, all right, well, I'm giving her this job and this and that. Guess what? She's going to leave you for another job that makes her actually work for what she gets. You guys have to understand that. Make her invest. Jap, relationships, are they dead? Yes or no?
I'm going to say yes, because for the most part, marriage is dead.
Okay.
So if the goal of a relationship, the end goal is to be in a marriage and to have kids and to have, not even just companionship, but for a woman to be in her role, in her place. We're in a society right now where a woman is our opponent. So a lot of guys are in relationships with their opponents. Just because she's beautiful or whatever like that doesn't mean that she's working with you. She might be working against you. So I think that the relationship is dead because the end result is dead automatically. So it's really almost a waste of time, because if you think about it, we get all the benefits of a relationship with actually not having to be in a relationship based on thought culture alone. Yep. So, back in the days, you used to have to sing, serenade. Like, I've been on real dates where you used to have to open the door, come to the door with, and walk her to the car.
That still exists?
That shit's not required no more. Nope. And the results are actually better than when we were doing that shit maybe like 10 or 15 years ago. So they've killed chivalry, they've killed the relationships, and they've killed marriage.
God damn, man. Good God. Hotep, I saw you bobbing your head on that one. What are your thoughts on that? Relationships, marriages are dead?
Right. So when you're dealing with marriage, what you're dealing with is corporatism, because it requires a contract. Anytime you need a contract, you're dealing in commerce and business. So when everybody on a panel says you're dealing in business, you're dealing in business. Anytime you deal in business, you have to do a cost-benefit analysis based upon whatever your spend is. Yes. Oh, wow. Right? Wow, so you take the woman and you do the cost-benefit. It's going to cost you. I mean, she's coming for the resources. Let's be honest.
Right.
So you decide, how much is she going to cost me? Okay, what is the benefit that I'm getting? What's the ROI on this relationship? And a lot of times, if you run the ROI across the relationship, she don't pan out. You over here scratching your head talking about physical interaction, when it's like, all right, there is no benefit here.
Right.
If you run it past the cost benefit analysis, you'll find out, it's a small amount of women are actually gonna be worth it. But you need somebody that's gonna, especially if you're young and you upcoming, you need somebody that's gonna be like moving and shaking with you, like that can make connections, introduce you to people, things of that nature. But you don't need, a lot of times women date up.
Yes.
But I think we need to start dating women within our stratosphere.
Okay.
And stop dating down. You dating like really bummy chicks.
Yeah, like bitches that work at KFC and shit.
Yeah,
Look, I like KFC. Well, I'll tell you what.
Especially for a young guy, I just think you should date probably within your profession.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. Listen, I'll date a bitch that works at Chick-fil-A, but I will not date a bitch that works at Popeyes. I know that.
Like if you're a music artist, you should be like trying to date a chick who runs a PR company.
So you're good. Oh, okay, I got you. You're dating with intent to become a power couple, someone in your field to help you advance.
Well, I wouldn't say power couple, but whenever we add people into our lives as a relationship, you want it to be symbiotic, right? Yeah, so she's getting the exclusive, and you're getting a PR person.
Sure.
So it's a symbiotic relationship that helps each other out. So you want to find a woman, even if you get a woman, you got a lot of money and she does taxes, or she's an accountant. Like all that stuff is great. We just want to find skills,
right?
that complement your life.
Just don't be picking up no bitch that works at Popeye. Listen, if she can do taxes, cool. But then at that point, why the fuck is she working at Popeyes, right? Savo, what are your thoughts, man? Are relationships dead? And if not, why? Why not?
So everybody's made terrific points, but I have an answer that's a little bit different than everybody's.
Okay.
I'm going to say they very well could be, and I'm going to say the reason is there's been like a drop-off in maturity in the American adult, it seems, for both men and women.
Yep.
So the way marriage and relationships used to be viewed, we talked about this at great length the last time we did a podcast, it used to be viewed as, people always ask, why were our grandparents able to do it? Long-lasting, healthy relationships that were cooperative, but we can't seem to manage it, and it just seems that each generation we get a little weaker, a little farther away from from the goal of what a marriage and a relationship was for our grandparents. It was, can I find somebody to work with? Can we work together? And can we work through life together? Little by little, that changed into people just wanting what they desire, as in what is the most exciting, and whatever's the most exciting person or whatever's most exciting to me. Both men and women do this. Unfortunately, I can't just hit on the girls for this.
Sure.
I mean, the girls are a little more excessive with it, but I would say red pill is teaching men and women the right way to do things. And the wrong way, in my opinion, is always to seek out the most desirable, sexiest, wildest, exciting person, get attached to that person, and then see, can I make this work since it's so exciting? And I'm going to say 9 times out of 10, you can't. I would say that's the majority of people take that attitude going into a relationship, then hold on for dear life trying to make that work, when originally, back in the day, it was all about, can we work together? Can we get through life together, regardless of if you're infatuated with the person?
Okay, very good. Well said. I've got another question for the panel. Let me read these super chats. Dr. Thunder, $5 is paying my respects to my favorite panel show in the manosphere, the 6. Let's go. RG Engineer, $25 super chat, says, good game. Shout out to the panel. Fear to no one, with a $3 looks like a hippo super sticker. E Invocator, $5 super chat, says, powerful panel this season. Pull out those notepads. I'm gonna come to EO with, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go reverse this time. So Kevin, I'm gonna come to you with this now. You made a very good point. Our grandparents and great grandparents, when they got together, they actually took the Hotep Jesus approach. Okay, obviously there has to be physical attraction on both sides. I mean, you can't make a baby with someone, you can't make a family with someone you're not sexually attracted to. But our grandparents seem to have the good idea. Okay, listen, they don't have to be the most sexually attractive person around. They have to be 8s, 9s, or 10s, but I have to be able to work with this person. Now, EO talks about this all the time, and so does Kevin Samuels. Relationships in 2021 should not be about love. So that's my question to the panel, starting with Savo. Do you think that love is a necessary component to a successful relationship, or could it be something else?
The kind of love that De Niro talks about in Heat, when he says,
wow.
what is love? It really is just a mutual respect. There's a form of like good-hearted love that comes from a good place of, I just want this person's well-being, I want them to be taken care of, and I want them to be okay. Then there's infatuation, and I believe that most people mistake, or we have redefined in the culture, what love is, or what being in love is, as being when you are the most infatuated with somebody. 100%. Now you're in love. So that's the one to go for. But in reality, I think the person that you just have a really good mutual respect for, a decent level of attraction to, and someone you can work with is where it's at. But who wants to make that sacrifice? Now, I'm 25 years old. Right. I don't want to make that sacrifice. I mean, I have the girl that I work really well with, but I don't want to wife up just yet because I know I want my options. But I think that's all good and well as long as you admit that. When the time comes, I believe I'd know how to find that partner that I could just work well with. Cooperation is the goal, not infatuation. Okay. But women are out here for the most part wanting their cake, and they want their cake and they want to eat it too. They want the infatuation as well as the cooperation. They want everything in one, and that's just never going to happen.
Hotep, I'm gonna change the question a little bit up with you, just based on what Kevin said. Infatuation. Women today believe that infatuation is love. This is why they bounce from relationship to relationship to relationship, because you can't be infatuated with someone forever. And so when they say the newness, well, I don't get butterflies anymore. What they're talking about when a woman says I don't have butterflies anymore, that means they're no longer infatuated. Now, there is a way to keep a woman infatuated with you, and that's when you run asshole game and treat her like dog shit. We'll get into that later. But what are your thoughts on women mistaking love for infatuation? Because in my opinion, infatuation is a feeling that is stronger than love. What say you?
The consciousness of the American dream was created by Hollywood. Right. And love was created by Disney.
Yup.
For a woman, for a woman, the idea of love was created by Disney. Okay. The blueprint was laid out in Cinderella and Snow White, so on and so forth. So essentially what you're dealing with is you're dealing with an entity who has been implanted with a false sense of reality. Jesus Christ. A man whose life is rooted in reality is now faced to conquer a being who has a false sense of reality.
Right, right.
She's believing in a fairy tale. She's believing in a myth. So you need to deal with a woman who's never seen a Disney movie before. You start there.
You ever seen Aladdin? No? All right, come on.
but he hinted at it before, right? It's that whole infatuation,
Yeah.
hearts in your eyes, and all that stuff. It comes down to respect. It equals, love equals respect and trust.
Okay.
That's what love is: respect and trust. If you don't got respect and trust, you don't got love. And that's what you got to seek. If you don't have respect and trust, you can never have love. You do have infatuation. You have a desire for benefit. That's another thing people got to be careful of. People who desire you because there's a benefit of having you in their life, so they pretend to like you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think Hotep got smarter since the last season. Like he's I'm still waiting on him to be using these 6-syllable words where I'm going to have to turn off my camera and Google it real quick. Man. Very good. Jap, what are your thoughts? Is love a necessary component for relationships in 2021? Yes or no?
No, I don't think it's the most important thing. I think that's something that women say they want, but really don't understand what love is. I always tell people that love is a feeling, like any other feeling. And I try to tell them, like, it's like getting high. A lot of times, if love was real, it's like it would be like a high, like a crackhead. Like a crackhead is always chasing that first high, right?
Right.
And if love was real, you would be married to your high school sweetheart or grammar school sweetheart.
Yep.
If it was real, like how it is, because a lot of times people are still chasing that first feeling of when they were in love. But as life progresses, it's not the same. You know, you're in and out of love all the time. It's only a feeling that has to continuously be renewed.
Okay.
So what a lot of women don't understand is that, yes, I can love you now, hate you tomorrow, and you need to do something to make me love you again.
Shit.
They don't want to continue what they've done to stay loved. So everything is conditional.
That's right.
When the conditions change, the love changes. So I don't think that's the main component to have a successful relationship. Because again, you'll be in and out of love. Like you come in, you argue one day, like you're not gonna be like, well, I love her. You know, like, no, it's respect. You're invested.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the situation that you're in. Eventually, if she gets her shit together, yeah, I love her tomorrow, something like that. But right now, I can't stand this motherfucker.
Okay.
That's what love is to me. Love is a feeling. It has to continuously get renewed.
Resparking the high.
Yeah, and once it's going to go down and it's going to go up.
Of course, that's life.
You know what I mean? But what's the main component of actually is the respect, and is she useful, and is she and then you have to have something to compare it to. Comparing it to, like, it's like real estate, the comps. So
okay,
whatever's out here on the market, I say, okay, I gotta take the good with the bad. Do I really want to sit out here and deal with another one of these?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
cost benefit, like Hotep talked about earlier.
4 years or whatever like that. And I know this idiot, you know what I'm saying? And she'll get through this or whatever the hell, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, she has good qualities. Or do I want to go out and learn somebody totally new? So I just feel like it's a feeling, and it's only a feeling.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because again, it's nothing that you can put any type of value on. You can't equate it to anything like that. You can't cash it in. You know, and if love was real, like how everybody perceives it to be,
yeah,
we would be with the first person you was in love with.
That's right. We wouldn't be here.
Changing. So
we wouldn't be here.
Apparently somebody changed their mind.
BOA, is love a necessary component for a relationship in 2021?
You know, my perspective on it is this: you have to think about the emotional volatility of love.
Okay.
Like when you love a woman, I bet you do something, man, have you in your feelings. Like you when your feelings are hurt, that shit is toxic, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Like that shit is toxic, man. I've talked to men, man, I had to talk them off the ledge just over some broad walking out on them. I'm like, damn, bro. Well, like where you live on an island, she the only broad, she done dove in the ocean on you. So when you think about it, man, you have to think about the average human emotional capacity only has so much depth to deal with that shit.
Okay.
And when that infatuation, that Savo was talking about in the beginning takes over, you invest too much of that emotional capacity into that bullshit.
Right.
So now everybody's fucking burnt on love. Everybody's burnt on that shit, man. Nobody wants to take a deep dive on that anymore. We all have a stopping point that stops before we get into the deep dive on that, because nobody wants to risk the emotional volatility that we're all familiar with. It's just not worth it anymore. Because relationships just seem like they're not gonna last. So you put yourself on a hook for that. It's like taking every dollar you have and betting that shit on a horse with a broken leg. I mean, it's gonna run the race, but
right.
you know, there's a good chance that you're gonna be broke. So I think the love component of it has to be replaced by a necessity component.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? This is what I want to do in my life. How can I plug someone in who is such a necessity that I value them beyond that love shit, where they can still get the same, you know, the same connection, the same fair treatment, the same appreciation that people think they get in love? Because, man, nobody appreciates love. You, as a man, you're out of your fucking mind when you're in love, bro.
Shit.
Like, you can't be logical and in love at the same time.
Nope, not possible. Can't do it.
And as men, we base our entire existence, the improvement of our existence, on our ability to be logical, on our problem-solving capacity, on our wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, which is gone when you're in love. So I think for a man, stay your ass away from that love shit, man.
Wow, very nice. Before I go to EO, I made I put a post on Instagram, and I listed 5 women. And the first woman was Amy. The second woman was Tatiana. Number 3 was a girl named Jennifer. Number 4 was a girl named Christiana. Number 5 was Devin. In that order, those are the women that I have loved the most. Guess what? Failed miserably with Amy, even more miserably with Tatiana. Jennifer, that was a heartbreak. Christiana, I'll never tell anybody about that. And then there's there's Devin. Everybody hit me. Oh my God, I can't believe you. Nah, check this out. This is exactly what Dr. BOA just talked about. This does not mean that I don't love Devin, but when you really do love a woman, not only is it toxic, it's intoxicating. And it's just like he said, it is damn near impossible to make logical decisions when you love a woman that much. And if you can't make logical decisions for the both of you, the relationship is doomed to fail, because you're the captain of the ship. And if you guys are both infatuated, intoxicated with each other, dude, it's doomed to fail, just like the Titanic. One of you has to be the least emotionally invested, and it's got to be the man. Otherwise, the relationship is doomed. So, EO, I'm going to pose the question to you. Is love a necessary part of relationships here in 2021?
You know what? These gentlemen said a lot of great things. And one thing I want to tell the audience listening is that you're very fortunate to have YouTube, that you can source men like us that are, you know, I think Kevin is 25, so he's still a little young yet, but he's well-rounded. I can hear that.
Oh yeah.
But you know, the older you get as a man and the more experience you have, the more clarity you should get.
Right.
Okay, about life. And there's an astounding amount of self-deception that I see in human beings today.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, it's just astounding, the amount of self-deception that I'm seeing. I'm going to tell you this. I'm more interested in results than love.
Okay.
I'm more interested in results. I once had a woman tell me after meeting me briefly that she loved me. And I remember I looked over, I was sitting in a corner chair. And she was sitting on my sofa. And she said, you know what, I love you. I looked right at her and I said, you don't love me. I'm going to tell you what you do love, though. You love yourself, the feeling that you have when with me. And there's a big difference between actually loving the man or loving who she is creating, or who I'm creating her to be, and who she is witnessing herself to be when in my presence. Okay, so I think there's a big. I am for bringing the best out in people, whether it's a man or a woman. If I'm with a friend of mine, I'm gonna bring the best out in that brother. If I'm with my woman, I'm gonna bring the best out in that woman. It's not something I need to do. It's something that I want to do. It's because I'm constantly doing the necessary introspection in my life to be the best man I can be. And I hold myself under extreme accountability. And that's why I do it with others in my life. So I'll say this. I'm going to pick the woman I got the most peace with. I'm going to pick the woman that I can have solid communication with. I don't even need her to be super fine. Like I said last night on our show, Donovan, give me a 6.5 and then I'll dress you up on a Saturday night and make you my 8.5. And I'm cool there. Okay. So for me, I need peace. But again, you're talking to a you're hearing from a 41-year-old man. When I was Kevin's age, 25, maybe different story. Didn't have YouTube, didn't have
Real
mentors
talk.
and people I could learn from. We actually had to get out there in the streets and make shit happen and make a ton of mistakes and then play catch up. Whereas now it's a blessing that you can get this information early. So make sure that you patronize these men on this panel, because we had to go the long way in some situations to get this information for you. So I'll say this. I'm not big on love, like Minister Jab said and like the other men said. It's a fleeting emotion, just like anger is too. So you want to keep that in mind. Anger and love are two emotions that are fleeting. Wow. So don't make a passionate decision, whether it be love or anger.
Oh, wow.
You know, just learn how to have that emotional intelligence. And so it's very important. And so I'll say this, women love when they're with me, but I will never, ever believe that they truly love me, the man. They love how I make them feel.
There you go.
They love the sight of me. They love watching me in action. They like watching me make transactions, but they love who they are. Remember, all human beings are selfish. Even that human being who is out there being very charitable, and they call themselves a selfless person, that decision to be selfless, to be a giver, is still a selfish decision. Yes. So each human being is selfish. And once you know that everyone is out for their best interest, whether they announce it or not, you'll be in good shape. So results over love for me.
Savo, you had something. Oh, wait, hold up. Yeah, that was pretty fucking awesome. Savo, you had something to add to that. Go ahead.
Real quick, I wanted to respond to what Hotep said about how Disney sets the stage for how our culture or the women in our culture think of love. Okay. And it just made me think about how, yeah, that's what everybody wants to model their idea of love off of. Sometimes it's coming of age movies, it's rom-coms, and it's Disney. Right. And I was sitting here thinking, when he said that, I was thinking, how come nobody ever wanted to be the Huxtables or the Cunninghams? How come nobody wanted to be like the parents in a sitcom? Because they love each other. They're depicted as people that love each other. But what stands in the foreground of the narrative in those sitcoms is that mom and dad are handling business. And that's right. The business of raising a family and maintaining a home. So their love, I think the sitcom parents comes off more like, yeah, they love each other. That's why they're together and they're doing this. But the business is in the forefront, that they're handling business together as business partners.
Good.
Hey,
good.
to piggyback off my man Kev, what he just said.
Yeah, go ahead. And then we'll go to BOA next.
Just real quick. Everything he said, right on the money. But the reality is Al and Peg Bundy. That's what I want. I'm cool with that.
Oh, my God.
I'm cool with being Al Bundy and Peg coming down the stairs.
The magazine biggins.
If people really think about it, Al seemed like he was mad all the time, but Peg was wild sexy. She came down the stairs with leopard print pants. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to be bothered. But it worked. You never heard about them breaking up.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Nope. Even Roseanne, I think Roseanne cheated. One of the motherfuckers wanted a divorce or some shit like that.
Oh, shit.
Hey, Jab, it's the honeymooners for me, man. I'm the honeymooners for me,
yes, bro. Yes. BOA, what you got on the topic, man?
You know, I want to kind of address what EO was saying, man, because I talk about this a lot and get a lot of pushback on it. Okay. Now, I'm not professing that I'm a pimp or I've ever actively been in the pimp game, but I have several older relatives who were, and I soaked up a lot of game from them and was able to avoid a lot of shit that men have gone through, because I just never did trust these hoes. I know what they're capable of on one day with one man and what they're capable of on the next day with the next man. And I tell men all the time, the number one pimp principle is you love the woman like a pimp based on the value she provides. Okay. Because you have to love the improvement in your life. That's right. So the woman is simply a tool to improve your life. And that's what the love feeling she get. Now, I don't mean love like a sucker where you going, oh, baby, don't go. And you be serenading the bitch with flowers when she says she don't want to see you no more. I'm talking about when she gives value to your life, you appreciate her for that value. You might see me on a date, a wonderful date. We might be jumping out of some stretch. We draped up and dripped out, I might blow a bag that night or that weekend. But trust me, she has put in the work to earn that shit. And I think reciprocal relationships are what this shit is coming to. What are you getting? What are you giving? And if those things balance out, a relationship can last as long as those things balance out. And that's what our grandparents had. They had a reciprocal relationship where nobody veered away from their fucking responsibility. Everybody knew what they were supposed to do. They did it. The other person felt appreciated, and so they reciprocated it. Now, man, you don't know what you're gonna get from the modern woman, man. From day to day, a new trend come out. You know, right quick, man. I'll make this quick.
Go ahead.
I got a partner in Texas, man, millionaire. His old lady, man, showed up at a business meeting. He flew her in. She showed up all of a sudden with them big ass Betty Boop eyelashes on.
Oh my God.
You know, and we're talking about he's sitting down with some, you know, with the
Ballers,
paper boys. I'm talking about real money there. And so there's a level of respect, and you don't know it until you get to that level and see it. And you're like, oh, all these motherfuckers do this. So, and you know, he simply sat her down and said, look, you can't do that. She told him, man, listen, I don't care what you say. These looking good means everything to me. Man, he ended up divorcing the broad, man, because he couldn't get her to stop wearing that shit. And just that simple, you got to be prepared to correct the shit that's wrong when it comes to that reciprocal relationship.
Man, I'm trying to tell you. I'm gonna do a double one-word round robin question. I'm gonna ask one question. I need one word answer. I'm gonna start with Savo. Savo, did Peggy Bundy smash niggas? Yes or no?
I don't know. I don't think she was fucking Ted Bundy though. I don't feel like she was giving him ass.
Yes or no?
No.
No.
Yes.
Hotep.
I don't know. That's a tough question.
No.
Jap.
What's the question? One more time.
Do you think Peggy Bundy smashed niggas back in the day?
Yes.
BOA, what you got?
Most definitely.
There you go. EO, what you got?
You know, brothers like big titties and red hair, so I'm gonna say yeah.
And me, I'm gonna say hell yeah. Of course, man. Of course, Peggy Bundy was smashing.
Wait, the question is, was she cheating on Ted?
Was she cheating on Al? I don't know. I don't think she would.
I wanted her.
Al. I say Ted Bundy.
Nah, her and Al been together since high school.
I fucked that up.
Al was her first and her last.
Yeah, listen, honestly, I think Al might like it if Peggy cheated on him. I think he would. Listen, but of course,
you know what? Real quick on that point, she probably didn't cheat on him because Al treated her like shit.
He did, didn't he?
So if Al was nice to her, she would have had 5 dicks in her ass. YouTube chill. But he was kind of an asshole to her. He probably put toys in her ass upstairs in that bedroom.
If he found out she cheated, he'd have been crazy.
Maybe
he'd have probably went crazy. Like he was so secure. Because he's like, she's not going nowhere.
He didn't care.
But she was just too fucking sexy. He just let her just walk around and just didn't want to touch her.
Tuesday night sex and all of that. Let me read these super chats real quick, and then we're gonna open up the phone lines. Uncomfortable Truth, $5 says, love is an emotion, a feeling, energy in motion, and that energy will change like the wind blows. Respect comes first. Respect is constant. Respect. Totally agree. Ricky Webster, $5 says, Hotep, whatever you had on that plate took you to another level. Keep dropping gems. French toast props do. Appreciate that. Dr. Thunder, $5 says, the issue is people conflate worship and romantic love. God alone is worthy of worship. People are fallible and will always disappoint. And then there was one specifically for Hotep. The Ronin Hotep says, this is a fire panel. Hotep Jesus, can you speak on the roles of a man in marriage? Hotep in build. What you got?
Hotep and build, homie. Appreciate you. I mean, I think it's produce, protect, but then there's like that other one. Smash. And it's just like, it's like you gotta make sure you set your family up, for generations. I think every man, if they had that outlook, a lot of things could be better.
Okay.
So I think you got to shoot for the moon because we all got the same, however many years that we're gonna live. But I think that a man's duty is the survival of his people.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the survival of his brood, his people. Et cetera.
Hey, Doc, one quick thing, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to throw this in there before you get the lines going.
Okay.
I want to just say this. When it comes to love, women usually go to the highest bidder. They'll fall in and out of love with somebody who has more or less. Their love is more or less conditional, right?
Sure.
Mm.
So I want to pose the question to the panel.
Okay.
I personally feel that men are better at loving women than women are better at loving us because of this reason. I just thought about it. When they lose their jobs, we don't bail. We come in and we usually help them. They get sick, breast cancer, or whatever the hell.
Right.
We don't bail. it's a lot of men are left hanging because the condition changes,
Right.
and now she's no longer in love. So, for instance, like EO said, the woman was in love with the idea of him and what he provide and what the overall scope is.
Okay.
Women don't provide us an overall scope of anything. We are in love with the looks or whatever. Like, and there's a lot of men who are still with fat women.
Oh my
Who
God.
were not fat
Jesus Christ.
when they met them. So I really think that my personal opinion that men are more capable and better at loving women than women are better at loving men. I just want to hear what the panel had to say.
I'll start off with that. Men and women love very differently. Men, we love, how can I put this? Love is conditional on both sides, right? Like there's no such thing as unconditional love. And the reason there's no such thing as unconditional love is because evolutionary biology depends upon it. And what I mean is this: if women loved us unconditionally, then the best genes would be bred out of existence within just a few generations, because we'd all be fat tubs of lard and fat tubs of shit. No, women are designed to love men who are either genetically, physically superior, mentally superior. That way the best genes get passed on from time. Listen, we all talk about never date a single mother because she's always going to go back and procreate with the baby daddy. Well, that is the visceral attraction. As far as what Jab said, I think men, we love idealistically, women love opportunistically. And to be honest with you, I agree with Hotep. I agree with EO. I don't think there's any such thing as love. Love is what we call it when we feel strongly for another person. I don't think that love is real. I don't think it's a figment of our imagination. I think it's just a word that we've sort of put on relationships. EO, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that opportunistically part is something I pound home a lot. I think love is confused with comfortable conditions.
Okay.
You know, like if the conditions are comfortable, you got food in the fridge, you got a nice mattress to lay on. You know, you confuse that for love,
right?
You know what I mean? And so, but you know, who are you without all that, and who are you with all of that?
Right.
That's the number one question. I always say, men are the true romantics. It's not women. You know, women could go to a girlfriend's house. She just bought a house and they got a brand new home, and your woman will walk around her house and look at the new chandelier and the granite countertops, and she'll come home and talk shit about your home now. It's like, see, women want what other women have,
of course,
and so you know, and guys like Minister Jap said, which was a great point. You know, when women get sick, we kind of want to take care of them.
Yes.
If they lose their job, we ain't looking to get another bitch right away. No, I mean, we might even like that, so we can put them in a position for us now. You know, if we're out here thriving and making money, you know, and so I would agree with that. Women love opportunistically. They confuse love with conditions, with favorable conditions, and I think we all do that to some degree. So try to dissect that and moving forward. Is it the conditions that you love, or is it kind of like the journey? I always say love the journey, don't love the conditions.
BOA, what you got, man?
You know, I'm going to address something specifically that Jap pointed out. The scenario where a man stays with a fat woman who wasn't fat when he met her, or a woman who doesn't take care of the home like she did in the beginning, or a woman who now hangs out and parties when she didn't in the beginning. I think the problem is men are more likely to go lax in their standards.
Okay.
So as the situation goes on, you fuck around and get fat. You know, your woman's looking at you. She probably already got somebody, man, who looked like you used to look.
Yes, sir.
You know, a work husband or some cat somewhere that she's either getting with, or, you know, having this little fantasy footsie thing they do before they go get with a cat.
Right.
But a man will stay there out of our sense of protection. So whether a woman still deserves that protection and provision or not, once we take on that responsibility, we're just less likely to throw it away, no matter what the woman does. That's why so many men end up getting blindsided by a divorce from a woman who was already doing everything to let him know she didn't want to be in the situation anymore, because he's so stuck in that responsibility phase of saying, okay, I did this, I'm gonna see it all the way through. We do that in every facet of our lives. You got men who won't pull out of a business. That shit is going belly up. Like, he see his money going bad, and he gonna fight to the end, man. And I think we put ourselves in a bad position with that, man. So when we love a woman, man, we love her hard. because we go from loving like I said before, we go from loving the result that we're getting. We go from loving the input. We go from loving the things that make our life better. And when those things start fizzling out, we don't give a shit. We just start living on the memory of the things that made our life better.
Wow.
We start living on the memory of the woman not being fat. You can see a woman 10 years later and you see what she used to be. Women don't do that shit. You fat, a woman see you, damn, man, but you got fat as hell. We see the woman and we'll still get with that woman who we knew in high school because we still can see like the sparkle in her eyes, even though her body is fucking 250 pounds heavier now.
Kevin, what are your thoughts on what Jap posted the panel here?
I agree. Women seem to be more opportunistic, obviously, by their nature. I think a good example of this is the way like a man will step out on a woman and then he's kind of satisfied his urge and he's good to go back to his woman if he really loves her and if he's in a relationship with her. Whereas when a woman cheats, if she gets a spark she feels like she hasn't had with her man in some time, it almost gives her the courage to move on. And more so than that, she wants to seek out and wants to make consistent what she just experienced versus what she's been experiencing at the house for the past 10 years. It's like a constant chase of excitement. It just seems that everybody seeks excitement. It just seems that the excitement a man seeks when he's gotten bored with his woman or gotten bored with his sex life with his woman is quickly satisfied and then he's kind of good. Whereas a woman's way of seeking excitement is never ending. And I guess that what that really is, the surface level is searching for excitement, but what that is what you said, is that it's that evolutionary opportunistic side that if they didn't seek that, then they're not constantly seeking out the best fit guy to procreate with.
Okay, let me read the super chats and then we got a couple of guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Did somebody else want to go?
Yeah, so real fast.
My bad.
Minister Jap could attest to this. But in order to understand women, just look at the children that they breed when they're alone. And look at the children that men breed when they're alone with children.
Yep.
Men, single parents, single father households tend to breed better children. Yep. Why is that? Why do they raise better children? Here's the big thing. Women are predatory organisms.
Uh-oh.
Women.
You'll fuck around and get us canceled.
They are predatory organisms. This is what they are.
Right.
And I said this in my book that they are the apex predator of the Homo sapiens species. And this is facts. Because every man starts off as a woman till that Y gene kick in.
Right.
But women are predatory by nature. They are cold. You think you cold, a woman to show you cold.
Real talk.
And only a woman will watch you work for something, get it, then leave you the moment you fail. But a man actually has the warmth in his heart to say, no, I stuck by this long. I got you. We broke up. It's cool. I still got you. Right. Because men ain't built for that. We're supporters.
Right.
We're organisms that are here to support the role of the queen bee. It just is what it is. And she's a cold bitch. She'll leave your ass in the dust and go start a whole nother hive.
Hey, listen, they do this.
That's some real shit right there.
That's right. Philip J with the $10 super chat says, like a contracted job, many women are only as loyal as the contract. When and if the contract ends, well, there you go. On to the next contract. Ernest Kwame, $5 says, in the words of BGS, IMB or Black Mystic Speaks, women have a utilitarian view of men. It's all about what have you done for me lately. Phone lines are open. Yeah, that true words never spoken. Phone lines are open. 516-387-1987. Let us go to Mark in Houston. Mark in Houston, you're on Live with the Six.
Oh yeah, what's up, man? I want to ask y'all, and shout out to BOA, man. He a dude from he a country boy just like me. I got big respect for him. But
good shit.
I want to ask, man, like, cause how would you go about starting a family? Like, because we already know like the kickbacks in society nowadays, but some people, do want to start a family, but they don't want to deal with the, getting trapped in the cycle of disrespect and just, foolishness. So how do you go about that, starting a family if you want to do that?
Yeah, go ahead, BOA.
Man, I think we have to stop thinking that we're going to have what our parents had.
Yep.
Because we just don't live in the same world. So you almost have to wrap your mind around the concept that even if you go get married to a woman, with the divorce rate steadily increasing and women filing the absolute majority of those divorces, whether you married abroad or not, you're going to end up being a father who is not in the household. But here's the solution. Get your money right. That way, no matter what happens, you can be strong enough to go in there and fight for and get custody of your children if that's what you want. We can't play the game the way we used to, so we have a habit of fantasizing and romanticizing the act of having a family.
Right.
Here's the thing, man. You may just have to forego that shit, man. Like, you're not gonna get it the way you had it back then.
Nope.
Women don't have to be that way, and not only do they not have to be that way, society is giving them every single out possible.
Yep. They're
You think about this
incentivizing
chick,
it.
Brittany Rayner. There's a broad who has made a huge name for herself for trapping an NBA player and telling other women, you should do this.
Yep.
And there
That's
are
right.
women who are saying, yes, I should, since athletes are so dumb. We just don't live in that world, but there is the option. There is the option. No matter what kind of woman you like.
Mm-hmm.
There's beautiful black women all over the world.
Yes, there are.
White women, Asian women, Hispanic women, whatever your preference is.
Uh-oh.
They're all over the world, man.
You said white women.
And some were raised in patriarchal societies where you don't have to deal with a bunch of shit you deal with here. I'm just saying, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't talking about go over there and try to have fun and get laid because you can't get no sex in America. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about if you want a family, the woman that you choose to create a family with, man, she needs to be raised in the very least in a patriarchal household, if not a patriarchal society. Otherwise, you're gonna be a dead horse and be a single parent.
I've got a quick answer.
An absent father.
I've got a quick answer, and then if anybody else has an answer, let me know.
Yeah, I'll jump in after you real quick.
Okay,
I'll go in after EO.
Okay, so we'll go EO, then Jap. My suggestion to you, Mark, is you have one of two choices as far as I'm concerned. If you really want to have a family, if you really want a legacy, if you really want to pass on your genes, you only have one of two options as far as I'm concerned. Number one, use a surrogate, okay? A surrogate is you pay a woman to carry your seed to term. Obviously, she relinquishes all parental rights, and now you have your kid free and clear, right? Obviously, you're going to pick the woman, or you can go, just like BOA said, to a patriarchal society and get married over there. Here's the caveat. You can't bring her back here, Mark. You cannot bring a woman who was raised in a patriarchal society to America, because America will corrupt her very, very quickly. So you can either get a surrogate to mother your child, or you can move to another patriarchal nation and raise your family over there. EO, go ahead. Then we'll go to Jack.
Yeah, I love both points you guys made. I always say this, that when you're meeting somebody, you're signing this silent contract with one another, whether you know it or not. The two of you are kind of signing up for something. So instead of it being silent, make it audible. You need to tell the woman this is an arrangement.
Yes.
Like, get off the love stuff. Get off, I want you to love me. And with this all romance, it needs to be like, hey, we seem suitable for one another based on our lifestyles, our interests, our communication is there, our personalities. There's no personality conflict here. You got to keep in mind, too, fuck how she looks, bro. Do the two of you get along? Okay, you could make the woman do squats. You could say, hey, you want make you do some squats. We're going to go for some walks. You could recreate her looks, but her personality is her personality. I mean, that's ingrained in her. A lot of that is genetic. So you got to be that businessman when you're dealing with women. It needs to be a contract that you present. Hey, I've done an evaluation of this particular situation. Here's what I recommend we do moving forward. If you have any ideas, I'm willing to listen, but this is what I want. And moving forward, this is what it's going to be if we're going to persist. So it needs to be like an arrangement, like a contract. Because whether you know this or not, we're signing silent contracts.
Damn right.
Okay?
Every day.
Whether you know that or not.
Yep.
So you might as well produce an actual contract and make this an arrangement. And I'll be honest with you, when the two of you know what you're getting out of each other, like someone said this earlier, and I say this all the time too, when there's actual results, you know your part, I know my part. This is the expectation. You know the expectation. When those things aren't being solidified and there's nothing being produced, and now we have a problem on our hands. So I say this, man, get off that lovey-dovey shit and start producing actual contracts. Here's the thing, though. If you're not better than her, I'm just going to say it like this. For a man to be successful with women, she has to look at superiority every time she looks at you. You got to be better looking than her.
Yep.
You got to be a better talker, thinker. You got to be more sensible. You got to be able to be without her. Okay.
Yep.
If she's not looking at that, there will be no respect. There will be dishonor all the time. When she knows that you were fly before you met her and you're going to be even flyer if you leave her, there's a good chance that woman stays congruent with that contract.
Real talk. Wow. Jap, what you got, man?
Okay, like and I love what everybody was saying, man, but I wanna add this to the mix.
Okay.
When it comes to reproducing, just think about that word right there. Reproducing. What are we reproducing? So I say for people who look to reproduce the greatness that you are, hopefully you're great. So you want to say, first thing I want to look for is age. Because a lot of these women, they're too old to mold and you can't be coached. I don't think anyone in her 30s
right.
can be coached. Like, they are the worst women. They're done. They're really done. It needs to be someone 25 to 22, something around that. Something where she's actually a sponge and she wants to learn. Not an aged woman who's been through all of these dingalings in her life and all this hell. So now you're trying to fix the bitch. No.
Right.
Then you want to think about culture. What kind of culture does she come from?
Okay.
Because I know America taints a lot of women, but you have the South. We really don't talk about the South a lot. A lot of women in the South.
I don't know, bruh.
A lot of women in the South I've seen tend to be a little bit more wholesome than a woman from New York.
Okay.
Or a woman from
Philly.
Or LA.
Okay.
Them Virginia girls, yeah.
Being a homebody,
wide open,
doing shit that's wifey like.
Okay. All right.
Raising children and shit like that. Okay.
All right.
Then you want to think about upbringing. Mm-hmm. How can she be a wife if she never seen one and wasn't raised by one? Mm-hmm. How can she know how to obey a man if she never seen it done before?
Okay.
Single mothers raise single mothers. The product of a single mother is usually a terrible woman. You know what I'm saying? And she's a headache.
Real
and
talk.
Usually you'll meet them and they're 30-something plus years old. They are horrible candidates to have kids with, because what you just did is stuck a raw dick in your opponent. And lastly,
I love it.
And lastly, what I would say is that, you know, the career woman. The career woman is a terrible woman. She is devoted to her job, and the best job any woman could ever have in life is to be a wife and a mother.
That's right.
If a woman doesn't value that, don't reproduce with that, because again, judges make terrible mothers. Lawyers make terrible mothers. Women with doctorates make terrible mothers. Look at their kids. They're usually on oxycodone, and you know what I'm saying? They're just rich. They are terrible mothers. Why are they terrible mothers? Because they don't have time to do it.
That's right. Because
she wakes up in the morning, on time, shows up and gives the best performance of her life for somebody else's dream.
That's right.
Not your households. She wakes up in the morning, she puts on her best clothes, she looks good, and when you get her, she has a bonnet on.
That's right.
She's not performing well in the household, so you have got to find women who want to be led and work for you. Employ your woman.
Mark in Houston, thank you for calling, man. I appreciate that.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Absolutely. Wow. All right, guys. Lines are still open. 516-387-1987. Let's go to Juan in Chicago. Juan in Chicago, you're on Live with the Six. Go ahead.
Hot mommy's in the club. Woo!
Appreciate that, brother.
Top mommy's in the club.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right. Here's the background to my question. So recently I was watching Coach Greg Adams talking about how married people will be the minority in the future, and in that article it talked about bachelor tax that would affect a lot of single people. And I would say, how would that bachelor tax benefit society? And do you think it's a good idea?
I think the bachelor tax is a bad idea. And I'm going to tell you something right now. There already is a bachelor tax. Listen, I'm not going to get into numbers, but I have always paid through the nose on taxes every year. And now that I'm in a few tax brackets up, it's ridiculous. And you want to know why? Because the government punishes me for being financially well off and reproductively responsible. They punish guys like me, but then they reward single motherhood. So if the minority of people are going to be married and the government starts to enact this whole bachelor tax, what that's going to do is what they're trying to do is they're trying to encourage people to get married so that they can avoid this bachelor tax and get this marriage tax credit. The bachelor tax doesn't exist yet, but I think it will soon. Does anybody have anything on this? Because this is an interesting question.
All taxes are communism, and communism is bad.
Dude, real talk. Anybody else?
Yeah, this is going to be like what Biden's doing with the gas tax, unless you get an electric car.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
well, of course,
you better get out here and start producing some babies with some of these motherfucking bimbos.
Listen,
you
can't listen. Just like you said, Jap, you cannot stick a raw dick in your adversary, in your opponent.
You know?
Man, they text me any more than they text me right now. I'm getting out this motherfucker.
Real talk. Man. That's what I'm saying, man.
Canada, here we come.
Thanks for calling, Juan in Chicago. Jimmy in Dallas with the $30 super chat says, salute to the panel. EO is 1,100% correct. There's so much free game on YouTube. Men today truly have no excuse. The road has been paved. You just have to do the work it takes to walk down it. Real talk. Airgun Ballistics, $5 says wisdom. Let us go to Jermaine in Sacramento. Jermaine in Sacramento, you're on live with the 6. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on there?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Man, I respect all of y'all, man. I watch y'all a lot, man, and listen to y'all and soak up game, silently in the background, just listening. I just wanted to ask you this, man. You know, because you said there's a lot more game on the internet now than there ever has. So men shouldn't have no excuse, right?
Yeah.
However, these women, they're watching the same stuff we're watching.
Right.
They're using that against us.
Yep.
So now we have to deal with that.
Yeah, Jermaine and
these women are not stupid. They're slicker than we think they are.
Mm-hmm. You want to know listen, Jermaine, do you want to know what the solution to that is? The solution to that is congruence. Here's the thing. Here's the problem. Here's the main problem that guys are, and if anybody else wants to chime in, let me know. Girls have the internet too, guys. When Neil Strauss wrote The Game back in 2003, women were getting smashed, and people had no idea. Oh my God, all these guys have all this game. Then the smartphone was invented in 2000, well, more or less invented in 2007, and women started getting access to this stuff too. What that ended up doing, that ended up separating the wannabe PUAs from men who really knew their shit. So even if, here's the thing, listen, my girlfriend works for me. She knows who I am. She knows what I do. I still have her in line, and it has nothing to do with any pickup game or techniques. No, I am who I am, and this is why our relationship is solid. So if any guy out there is worried, I wonder if she knows what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, you shouldn't be asking yourself that, because if you have to think about your reaction, you have to understand you're going to need a little bit more experience. Go ahead, Jermaine. You were going to say something?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking that it's just very difficult this time, and I mean I'm older.
Okay.
So I mean I had an easier time picking up women in the 90s.
Yeah, of course.
I do now. These women now, it's almost like they think they know something that I don't. So I mean it's like oh well I listen to Cynthia G, so this is what I'm gonna They act like they know something or that they have more. So it's just like it's very difficult to date right now. Yeah. I'm having a difficult time.
Yeah. Yes.
The internet can't.
I'm a great looking guy. I'm 6'1". I'm in great shape. I'm everything that I would think I'm college educated and still having problems.
The internet, no matter how much internet these women watch, it can't change nature.
Right. That's it.
And if women ain't choosing you, then you got to look at you. That's the only thing you got to look at.
Yeah,
it's not the women. Because dudes is getting chose every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So the stock of women you looking at, you either got to look at the stock of women that are looking for what you got, or get what the women that you looking at are looking for. Because some women value different things. Some women value men that could build houses by hand, and some women value dudes with corporate jobs. It depends on what type of chick you dating. You got to know the type of chick you dating and go date within your stratosphere.
BOA, what you got for him?
And you also have to have some eliminating factors. Like, technically, if you meet a woman and she listens to Cynthia G, you shouldn't talk to her ass again anyway.
Nope.
You already know she's stuck on some silliness that you got to try to weed your way through. So I mean, you have to, and I say this. I think I've heard Kevin say it. I think I may have had even heard EO say this. The more active a woman is on social media, that just determines how less I'm going to deal with her ass. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because if a woman is very active on social media, then she's not mentally attached to the real world.
That's right.
So her whole mindset is all skewed. So yes, it drops the pool and lessens the pool of women you have, makes it smaller. But so what? Create some more business opportunities for yourself.
You know what, real quick, and I know Savo wants to go on this one. I'm going to tell you 5 words that work extremely well for me when I'm talking to a broad that thinks she knows everything.
Okay.
I look at her calmly and say, bitch, you don't know shit. But you gotta use the word bitch. If you don't use it, it ain't gonna work. You can't say it in an angry way. You can't say just say bitch. You don't know shit.
With all
and if you notice, she gets recalibrated right there. She goes from fantasy world back to reality and back to the man in charge. So this is not a joke either. I hope this is not a joke. So it works really well for me. Look at a girl when she's talking too much or she's highly opinionated, and just say, hey, bitch, you don't know shit. And then that's it. This works on white women, black, all women.
Right.
Bitch, you don't know shit.
Savo, what you got, man?
I would take the advice that these guys were giving you, and I wouldn't be too concerned about a woman coming across an alpha male strategies video and being concerned that she's now soaked up years worth of or 500 videos worth of game. It's just my personal belief, and I think you guys might tend to agree. Women are so emotionally invested in what they're concerned about that you can sit and listen to AMS and Kevin Samuels, and a lot of things are just not going to register the way it registers for us. We go through a lot of heartbreak in our younger years, and when you're blue pill lifestyle is just disastrous, and it leaves so many questions that when you find these kind of channels, it all comes together for you and makes sense because you've lived it and you've lived the mistakes. So it really registers for us. I think women can listen to strategy and game and pick up game, and there's a few cues they could take for it, and they can wonder to themselves, is this dude like pulling one of these strategies on me? But for the most part, I don't really think they have the ability to absorb a lot of this and fully step by step, if you're running game or running specific strategy on a woman, be able to maneuver through your game. I don't think you have to worry about that.
Hey, one last thing. I'm not trying to hog this whole thing up. Make sure that you make her earn dick. I really mean this, because if you want to turn her, all that little game she thinks she has, and she's too flighty and fickle to be consistent with the game anyway. So even if she learns something from BOA or Hotep or Minister Jack, even if she picked up something, she's too flighty and fickle to even stick with it. She might catch something, but then, like I said, if you recalibrate, she forgets about it. But just remember this: that if you make her earn dick, which most men don't do, if most men are chasing pussy, you too chill. So if you make her earn dick, that's gonna fuck it. That's gonna fuck her all up. So just know that right now.
Good shit. All right, let's go to Elijah in Alabama. Elijah in Alabama, you're on Live at the 6. Go ahead. Elijah in Alabama, are you there? All right, I'll put you on hold. Let us go to let's go to Peter in Texas. Peter in Texas, you're on Live at the 6.
Hey, hi guys, how you guys doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I overheard the advice you give a gentleman a couple of questions ago, and gentlemen, I want to tell you guys, I don't know if you guys know how good of a job you guys are doing. Just for the fact that you guys are contributing to the manosphere, it is helping a lot of guys, guys that have been divorced. I'm not going to take much of the time. I just want to share my story real quick, just to buttress the advice Donovan gave the guy that wanted to have a family a while ago. So I'm an immigrant. I came over here, did everything right, went to school, got a great job. I was making a lot of money, and I decided, it's time to settle down. But I was like, no, I don't want to marry anybody from here because they're easy to divorce. So I went back home. I went to my village. I'm a city guy. I was born and raised in the city, back where I'm from, in Nigeria. Right. I went to my village to pick a wife. She came over here. There was one time we were watching TV. She saw New York on TV. She was shocked. She was like, is there a place like this? She was shocked. So from where I brought her from, before I knew it, she started trying to keep up with the Kardashians. She got drawn on Facebook and started making this kind of demand lifestyle. She wanted all these materials. Everything she saw out there, she wanted to have it. She started making friends with some of the people over here, and they were giving up, man, you got all this right.
That's why you don't bring them over here, man.
Right. Yeah, don't lower your standard. Demand. And all I did was try to make the wife happy. And that was making me miserable.
Should never let it get
Long
Facebook.
Story short,
no, sir. Oh, hell no. Or IG.
Long story short, I lost that job, and that's how my life went downstairs real quick. As soon as I lost my job, she grabbed my health service account. She started trying to grab money everywhere she could. And I ended up filing a divorce. And fast forward, the divorce dragged 2 years. Now I don't have my kids. I fell back down to rock bottom. She went away with hundreds of thousands and 80 acres of land. And I've been trying to pick myself back up. So I thought I needed to call you guys. I share my story to say what you guys, the advice you guys give that young man is on point. Amen, 1,000%. And one more thing, I was listening to Kevin Samuels the other day, and he said something about how people should be feeling too sorry for single moms because they've run their baby daddies out of town. You know, they frustrated them so much to where the guy just like, this is too much fun. And that is my story. That's my story. So I'm gonna cut it short right now. That is my story. Every advice you guys give is like it's exactly what has happened to me, and it's not just me. I know a lot of guys that did what I did. And find themselves in the same shoes as me. So you're working, you guys in the panel and everybody that contributes to the manosphere. Your jobs are very, very important. It not only gives the guys that have fallen down, that have been divorced, that have lost everything, you guys restore confidence. It makes me understand I'm worth something because after you divorce, it shatters your ego badly. Your self-confidence gets destroyed. You know, listening to the manosphere just makes me, I'm back to making 6 figures. But it took me listening to you guys to know that I could do this. I could do this. I'm worth something. And one more thing, your work also helps those young men that grow up with these single moms that are being raised to be beta males. For those of them that start listening to you, you guys are the fathers they don't have in their home. So please continue to do the job you do. I applaud you guys for what you do. You guys are highly important, and I hope you guys understand how important you guys are to men and boys being raised by young moms.
Awesome.
Moral of the story is when you get you a foreign chick and you bring her back, don't bring her back, number one. But if you do, don't give her no cell phone, no access to no media. You get her a handler and let her sip and paint all day.
Don't let her mingle with American women.
Like Jap said,
what he just witnessed was what women empowerment does to men.
That's right. That's right.
And it's never been good for anyone. It's never good for a household. You know, once she got a whiff of having that type of freedom to actually compete and be a competitor and an opponent to a man, she took it.
Like Jeff said, bring her down to the country and put her ass somewhere where her closest neighbor's a mile away, and the only thing within 5 miles is goddamn Walmart and the gas station.
You know it.
And you got yourself some.
I'm listening to his entire story, just thinking there's an entire Eddie Murphy bit about his story exactly.
Oh, you know it. Of course there is.
Was it from Raw? It was like the same story.
I think it was probably Raw or something.
Miss Fufu.
Let's
get
go
a Mexican.
Okay, let's go to Cali West in Miami. Cali West, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man? Donovan and the whole panel.
Yes, sir.
Minister Jap, Hotel, everything. Coach EO, and the other gentleman that's on the board.
Yep, Kevin.
Probably missed some names, but my bad. I'm driving right
That's
now.
all good.
That's all good, man.
You know how
You're
to call in and talk my shit. But I guess the question of on the panel tonight is relationships obsolete?
Yeah.
The answer to that, or girlfriends obsolete? I would say no. But they do take a lot, to kind of be with a girlfriend nowadays. It is in the 90s. It's not easy anymore. We have social media to go against. The good thing is that social media kind of, gives us basically the blueprint of what they do. So now we could kind of counteract that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny because I have a friend who's about maybe 50, 51. But the guy, he's pretty well off. He has a little bit of money and a couple pieces of property. And he asked me, why did I not, when am I going to settle down and have a girlfriend?
Oh, yeah.
And I told him the truth. I was like, man, and look, you know what my answer to him was? The answer to him was, I told him I can't afford it at this time. Because I'm 42. My ideal girlfriend is about maybe 21,
right.
21, 22, That's
Smart man.
The chick who I wouldn't want. Say that again?
Smart man. Get him young.
Yeah, you're going to have to. We got to move through these quickly here so we can get everybody in. Carlos in Chicago. You're on live with the 6. Are relationships obsolete? Yes or no?
No, I don't think they're obsolete. You can get a woman to complement your life and, just help you in a lot of ways. And if you're not the best version of yourself, physically, and if your money's not right, if your money's right and you're sloppy, you don't take care of yourself, physically, a woman, might not be attracted to you. So, you want to have your, be the best version of yourself and then bring a woman that will, that could help you a little bit, but it's going to be tough because she might not know everything. She might have just had some bad relationships, riding the carousel, and she's got to know enough is enough, and that she needs a man to guide her and help her navigate through this world, because women, they become, like you guys say all the time, self-destructive. So the answer, I'm just going to keep it like, it's worth it though, but like marriage, that's a whole nother different thing. So I'm going to say yes to relationships. Marriages, no. Okay. If you're really
cool, very good. I'm sorry, I got to move along here quickly. Yes to relationships, marriages, definitely not. I totally agree with Carlos in Chicago. Let's go to Eric. Eric in Arizona. Eric in Arizona, you're on live with the 6. Are relationships obsolete? Yes or no?
Hey, Donovan, shout out from the Southwest Desert.
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
All right. Hey, just real quick, I want to know what the panel would say about training your woman and using income disparity at the end of the marriage to leverage against her.
Ooh. Okay. Explain to the audience what that means. I think I know where you're going here.
Hello?
Yep. Can you
leverage it for what? Leverage it for what though?
So at the end, you use income disparity to keep from getting divorce graped.
Great.
Oh.
So are you talking about like
you go broke or she goes
Is it a
broke?
bad idea or I mean, because it's kind of what happened to me. I mean, I planned for the divorce as crazy and cold and calculating as it sounds. I planned for it.
Okay.
However, it comes as a surprise still. We were 16 years into the marriage, and she decided she met somebody that was better than me.
Okay.
Yeah, well, anytime you...
Oh, go ahead. We'll
what I did, I encouraged her to find a career in the first few years of our marriage. I encouraged her. What she actually got into was something in the healthcare field. It was something that was up and coming at the time. You know, and she ended up getting fairly high rank, but she had her sights set higher, which I found hilarious because I knew she was never going to make it. You know, she wanted to be one of the nurses that decided who gets to get the benefits of the company she was working for.
Let me ask you this, Eric. I think using income disparity to have a family in this country, it's a bad idea. And the reason I say that is because if you make more when you split up, the Brittany Renner situation, if whoever makes more when you split up, that's going to be the one to have to pay the child support, depending upon who gets the kid. Then there's alimony. And you were married to your wife for 16 years.
I'm sorry, Donovan.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, what I was talking about, I'm not talking about the upper tier men that, you know, are in the somewhere between the 1% and 15% or whatever.
Oh,
I'm
you're talking about
you're talking about for the average out there.
Okay. Well, how would you use income disparity? So you use the income disparity as leverage at the end of the relationship. So is there a contract?
You hire the right attorneys.
It was
before you make any type of business decisions. This is what it comes down to. Using your income. Use your income to purchase the right marriage attorneys before you enter into a marriage situation, or prepare for the divorce during a marriage and start weighing decisions and seeing what that what you got to just put the attorneys on it. That's how you use your income.
Yeah. Here's what happened.
Okay. And be quick, because I've got two more callers
2008.
Here. Okay.
And when it ended, she was making about $48K a year, and I was making $58K. When we went into the court because of income disparity, the court said, you owe your suit S2BX $100 a month and no alimony.
Okay, did you have any kids?
I have 3.
Okay, well, it sounds like
they're now 28, 26, and 21.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounds like
now, mind you, this was 2008.
Right. So I don't see what the problem is with paying $100 a month to a wife of 16 years and avoiding alimony.
Oh, I actually wavered a higher wage. I'm not going to disclose how much it was, but I wanted to take care of my kids.
Sure.
I wanted to make sure that they continued on with the life that they were having. You know, my oldest was 16 at the time, and my youngest was 8. And I didn't really.
Okay, but you have to. Right. No, you have to have an attorney. Like that's the point.
Y'all hear him? Y'all hear the call?
No, his audio went out. Donovan, his audio went out.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll put him back on hold. Okay, let's go to, sorry about that. Let's go to Elijah in Alabama. Elijah in Alabama, you're on Live at the 6. Go ahead.
All right, what's going on, man? A lot of wisdom being shared today. Is the question, are relationships obsolete in 2021?
Yes, sir.
That is a correct. I'm down here in the South,
okay,
bro, and I think Minister Jap made a comment. He said that there are a lot of wholesome women down here. I would have to definitely disagree to that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of what's being pushed in social media, the rap songs with the city girls and stuff, like that's real heavy down here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially like with my generation and the kids behind me. Definitely obsolete. I got a question, man, for the guys. I have a question for you guys in the panel.
Yes, do it.
I read this book called The Kabbalion, right?
Okay.
The 7 Hermetic Laws to Nature. Law number 1 was the Law of Mentalism. So with Disney and social media, with them creating these ideas, right? Ideal is a thought. How do men on the ground, how do we combat the other men who are creating like Disney, these social media apps? how do we bring leverage into the world with this? You know what I'm saying? Because things seem
You create
unbalanced out
That's
here.
a good question.
You create content that's more important than theirs.
Yeah. Go ahead, Hotep, because I think we all have good answers to this.
Yeah,
This is a very good
you
question.
create content that's more important than theirs, and you start creating like a defining line between you and other types of people in society. You know, over here we call them normies, right, or NPCs.
Yes.
So when people want to enter, you know, a more prestigious mindset, you know, that's the type of content we got to create and consume. You know, instead of like trying to tear down somebody else's system, you know, that's you know, in my day they called that player hating. You know, so I'm not trying to hate on nobody game, you know, but I think you just need to have a better game.
Right.
EO, what you got, man?
Yeah, you know, in my new book, I talk about the games in life. There's so many different games going on simultaneously inside the one game. So you got to find which game you thrive the best in and stay in that game. Don't even worry about what's going on outside of your game. Don't negatively impact it, and really don't even try to positively impact it. Just stay away from it and thrive in your game, whatever that is. So again, I think this whole save the world concept is illusory, and it's sometimes it's a big waste of time, and it's a cop out. So I'll say this: figure out which game you thrive in and stay in that lane, and right into the wheels fall off. And then whatever's going on outside of you in another game, what dope game, street game, pimp game, whatever the game is, education game, whatever it is, let them do what they gotta do. And don't worry about negatively or positively impacting it. Just stay in your lane and master it.
Good. BOA, what you got, man?
Okay.
You know, first off, man, when it comes to saving the world, don't save them.
No,
they don't want to be saved. No, people live the life that satisfies them. So just because Disney throws hell, they throw it out. We see it. Why aren't we affected by it? Like, people make choices, and most times women are the ones who are most gullible to those things, and the men who follow those things are just men who follow women. Like, men who follow women, they're a lost cause already.
Yeah.
So isn't that we can do about that? But the majority of us don't. So what you have to do is understand that the group that you're a part of as a man who doesn't think that way is a very significant group of men.
Yes.
So you don't even have to worry about that small group over there. Like, they're not going to be able to change the world. What they're helping us do is weed out the ones who don't belong. Imagine if we didn't have those things to show us how people wanted to be, how people really were. And social media didn't show us. You know how much tougher it would be to figure out somebody? Now I can tell what a broad is about, man, just by looking her up on IG. When I look at her IG, I know what she's about. Before social media, I got to sit and now the game was fun, you know, breaking down the broad mentality. It's fun, but it also takes a whole lot more time. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when it comes to women, I've gotten lazy when it comes to trying to figure out how they fit into my life. If I don't figure it out pretty quickly, I just push their ass on out the way. And one more thing, with that thing about down south, here's the thing about women down south. They could be that way, but that the atmosphere is so slow paced down south that women are absolutely more easily influenced than anywhere else, because there's nothing here for them to pattern themselves after. So they just dive into social media and live vicariously through the stupid bras and the stupid music and all of that. Man, let me tell you something. I saw a chick, man, she was about 300 pounds. She was black and tall. She had purple hair. She had blue lipstick on, man. And she had some long fingernails where she couldn't even wipe her ass with them. Like, they were long and curly, man. I was like, oh, hell no. Hey, I needed that one. That's the one.
Yes, sir.
That's the one. And it's crazy down here, man. So just don't get yourself too caught up in the things that you can't affect. Do the serenity prayer. God give me the wisdom, man, to you know what I'm talking about. The serenity prayer, man. Shit. Don't worry about things you can't affect.
Right.
All right, Jap, what you got, man?
Right.
Just the rebuttal off of what he was saying about the South. I get it, you know, especially places like, you know, Tennessee, Memphis, you know, Atlanta. Those are ratchet headquarters, but you can't base it, what I was saying, on just black women. There are other races of women.
Oh my God.
There are pie baking, cookie making as lily white women in Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? That we are not thinking about. So we gotta broaden our horizons. We are in America. Time to take advantage of every color scheme out here. You know what I'm saying? Stop limiting ourselves to the thottery and the ratchets. You know what I'm saying? And start broadening the scale a little bit. I will say this though. Support the manosphere, man. You know what I mean? Because these women, they have these fairy tale ass, Tyler Perry ass panels, the View ass type of panels, things of that nature, and we know that they're lying to themselves. Derrick Jackson will be making a comeback soon.
Yes, he will.
It's going to happen. Once that happens, you're going to see the intelligence of women, you know, and it's going to show you how stupid they are. So you have to understand that this is an intelligent community. This is only built for Cuban links. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Real, you know what I'm saying? Tough, logical men can only handle this information. Because there's a lot of guys that see this information and they turn into a woman on you. And they say, man, they can't get women. They're gay.
Hey, look, I'm
who
gonna address
hurt them?
that here
They
shortly.
sound just like women. So you got to understand, you know, this red pill is not for everybody, man.
All right.
So I'll just say,
and you got to be careful. You got to be careful to wake up a beta male, bro. You wake up a beta male and you leave him by himself, bro. He's gonna go kill people. Real quick, make sure that you put your money where your mouth is with your favorite content creator. Because if you want to keep getting this information pumped out, women do give financially to other women, and men, you guys are cheap. You guys want all this content, but you don't want to support your favorite content creator. So whoever that is, make sure you pump him with some cash so he can keep this good thing going.
And by the way, when you support one of us, you support all of us. We divide all super chats and cash apps evenly. Savo, what do you have on?
I'm so sorry, my thing cut out. I missed his question. What was his question?
That's okay. He wants to. He's talking about saving the world. What can the average guy like him do to make a difference in his life and the lives around him?
Okay, my answer is short. You can't save the world unless you save yourself first.
Yep, there it is. There it is.
Sorry.
My answer is this. There are many, many things you can do, Elijah, but the one thing that I can tell you, and this might sound a little bit vain, but, and this is actually a lesson that it's taken me a few years to learn, is you cannot trust men who are not good with women. And that might seem surface level shallow.
Wow.
Like, wait a minute, what does being good with women?
No, you're right, bro. No, you're right, bro. Because I'm a bouncer, right? I'm a head security at a bar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I get to see men interact with women.
There you go.
Wrong all night, every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then those same dudes like to come to me and, you know what I'm saying, talk about money, business, what they got going on. You feel me? And you're right about that, bro. You're definitely correct.
Listen,
because it's like you're strong at one point and weak in another. It just doesn't.
Listen, man, check this out. A man who does not have a strong grasp on true female nature will betray you. Okay, I've been betrayed in the last 2.5, 3 years. I've been betrayed by people that I actually trusted. They weren't close to me, but close enough to where they could really do some damage. What these three men had in common is that none of them are good with women, and it showed. So if there's one thing, if there's one thought, if you want to avoid disaster in your life, avoid men who are not good with women. Keep them at a distance. Don't associate with them. And listen, when you watch stuff like this, what I always do, and I'm going to go ahead and ask the chat to do this. Let's go ahead and do a location. Let's do a location shout out. What I like to do on each one of my broadcasts is I want to know where you're from. Because you never know. There might be somebody down in Tuscaloosa you might be able to meet up with, or maybe there's a guy out in Sandy Springs, Georgia. This is how you build communities of like-minded men, because you can't trust the average man walking the street. The average man walking the street thinks that women are made of sugar, spice, and everything nice. And not to say that these are bad people, not to say that they're bad men, but you gotta understand that a man who does not have a good handle on female nature, i.e. red pill awareness, is destined to betray you. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Listen, I want you to listen to this. If you hang out with a dude, if you associate with a man who is not good with women, it is a mathematical inevitability that he will betray you in some way, shape, or form. I'll give you the last word, Elijah.
I mean, nah, dude, that's on point right there, bro. Because like a lot of the jobs I've been doing with the security and stuff like that, I come in contact with a lot of guys who, I like to connect and network too. Okay. But a lot of those guys who are high earners too as well,
those dudes fuck with women, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like this message came right on time today, right here.
Good.
For sure, man.
Good, very good. Well, thanks for the call, Elijah in Alabama. Roll Tide. Got a few more super chats, then we'll bring this thing to a close. Uncle Guns with a $20 super chat says, a welcome return of one of the best shows in this fellowship, featuring a panel to make Mount Olympus sweat. Real men that bring absolute knowledge and power. It's going to be a great season. Respect and salute. Appreciate that, Uncle Guns. Also, Ice Dragon Kid, $5 says tuition again. Thanks. Appreciate that. ES Instruments, $5 says, I appreciate all the game and knowledge, gentlemen. Edmund, 209. What is that, Ed 209 from RoboCop? $20 super chat, appreciate that. A shout out to Peter Adebayo, welcome to Chat Privileges. And Loner with the $20 super chat says true story. Guys, listen, man, I think this is a great first episode. I think we all have great chemistry. I think it's going to be a good season. Let's go around the panel. Give me your final thoughts and where the people can find you. EO, lead us off.
Hey, great discussion tonight. Good to be back with you, gentlemen. It really is an honor and privilege to be around you guys. You guys are lucky. Let me just tell you guys this. If you found the Manosphere on YouTube, you really are lucky. I mean, the amount of information you can get at a young age. And just remember something, change doesn't always have to be a long, drawn-out process. Literally, change can happen instantaneously if you wanted to. The beginning of a change. And then your actions and your movements and your discipline will bring it all together. So just remember that. It doesn't matter where you've been in your life. If you decide you want to make a change right now, it can happen instantaneously as long as your movements and your ways and your lifestyle match up with where you want to go in your life. So I'm Coach EO. Come to my channel. I do one-on-one coaching. I do digital coaching seminars now as well, and I do on-site coaching. If you want me to fly out to you, I could do that. My first book is Cut the Bullshit. It's available on Amazon, and my second book comes out right before Thanksgiving next month. That's going to be a nice surprise for everybody.
Yes.
My website, championgamecoaching.com, and you could also catch me and Mr. Donovan Sharpe with Elite Level Game on Saturday nights. Join us there.
That's a great show. Can I get an advanced copy of the second book?
Hey, I got you.
All right, appreciate it. I've been waiting on the book for 6 months, man.
I know.
I need to see it. BOA.
Salute, man. Salute. It's good to be back on the panel, man. This is phenomenal, man. Savo, you got yourself something, boy. At that age right there, is always good to hear a young man in his 20s, man, already getting it the right way, because so many knuckleheads out here, man. So, man, it's good to be back on the panel, man. And this was a great topic tonight, man. And I hope you guys, man, really take the time to, like EO said, man, appreciate the fact that you can skip so many of the damn hurdles that we had to jump and trip over.
That's right.
And be able to navigate this life in a much more successful way as a young man than we did. And Savo is an example of that. You can do it if you apply it. Now, once we get the information, the rest is up to you. And if you don't apply it, no sympathy for your ass if you don't, man, because you have every opportunity. Man, you can find me on, just come to my channel, man, Book of Alpha Running Me, Dr. BOA. You can catch me up on IG, book_of_Alpha Running Me. And otherwise, man, right now I'm just chilling in this fourth quarter, man. I try not to get out and compete with these fools on fourth quarter, man, with all this Christmas and holiday shit. Man. But I got a bunch of good shit coming up for y'all, man. First quarter, top of first quarter, all at one time, man. I'm like the dope, man. I'm coming with everything you need. I got the pills. I got whatever you need. I got it, man.
You got look, you got the bags, you got the wrappers, you got all of that. Good shit, man. Jap, final thoughts and where the people can find you.
Oh man, appreciate you having me back, Donovan. Man, it's always been a blessing, man. I just want to say this to the brothers out here. Love is a feeling. That's how I'm coming. Love is a feeling.
Okay.
Time, attachment, and investment is the results that come from that. That's making you think that you're actually in love. You got time. You know what I'm saying. You got an attachment, and you invested into it. So a lot of times you stay in this shit based on your time, investment, and attachment. Love is different for men compared to women. We love practically, they love the illusion. And the fantasy, like Hotep said with the Disney thing. But if you guys want to reach me, you know where to go. MinisterJap.com. Type in Minister Jap in the search bar on YouTube. You know we cooking the shows early in the mornings. You know how we do. Also hit me on Instagram, Minister.Jap and Minister Jap Church. I got 2 Instagrams. They knocked me down, but I'm back.
Damn. Yo, look, this is the only dude on the panel. He's got like 8 YouTube channels and 8 Instagrams, man, because it's like whack-a-mole. It's like whack-a-mole. Hotep, final thoughts.
So earlier I was talking about cost benefit analysis in relationships. And Coach EO touched on something that's missing from the algorithm that I didn't mention.
Okay.
Experience.
Yes.
That's why I enjoyed when civilizations had arranged marriage, because you're allowing people with more experience than yourself to help you pick the right individual for you to share your life with. And Coach EO was talking about, the fact that people have access to us and this information is a huge advantage, and he's absolutely correct. You're at a huge disadvantage by not consuming this content, and women are at a huge disadvantage by not consuming this content.
You know it.
Because we are helping them understand with the type of male that they should be even looking for, as we shape men into the individual that they should be looking for. So there's a type of situation that helps both parties. But again, it comes back to the decisions you make are only as good as the experiences that you learn from, whether they be primary or secondary. I am Hotep Jesus. You can catch me at menoforder.com. New website destination for men, menoforder.com.
Okay, good stuff, man. And Savo, final thoughts on where the people can find you.
Hey, first of all, I've had a fantastic time listening to all you guys, and I followed all of you on Instagram while we were on the podcast, so hit me back so we could chop it up. There's been a lot of talk about me being the young cat in the room, and basically what brings me to the table is just being an observer. When you start to realize how things work, the only advice I'd give to young guys is be an observer. I mean, look around you. It's very rare that you're going to come across people in your life that are unplugged, and just sit back without making actions of yourself, without observing how that's gone for everyone else. We're not that unique as men. We tend to make the same decisions under certain circumstances, like love and infatuation, and just look at how that looked out. How did that work out for everybody in your circle? How'd that work out for your parents, your aunts, your uncles, your peers, for sure? Everybody seems to have the same problems, and everybody seems to have the same relationship issues. You want to be an observer and truly learn from people's mistakes. The worst thing you could do is be that unteachable person in your 20s that does shit the same way everybody else does it, and then you get the same results, because that's the definition of insanity. Aside from that, this has been a great talk. If you guys want to see what I'm about, punch in the fellas, Thought Mommies, Red Pill Music. I also have a show, a web series, where I play what if Captain Savo was an actual person, was an actual independent crime investigator that only saves hoes, and the villains are all Red Pill guest stars. So we got Rollo Tomasi playing himself, Donovan playing himself coming up, and it's a trip, man. Also, if there's any hip-hop heads, old school hip-hop heads in the panel right now, I just did a movie with Positive K, like a feature-length movie. That's called The Opener. You can find that also.
Boom, baby. Oh, I still got to watch that. That completely slipped my mind.
Yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think.
Christ. All right, good stuff. Fantastic show, gentlemen. Insidious Purple with the $5 super chat says, great show, gentlemen. Welcome back. You guys all know where to find me. Like I said, my final thoughts are I'm grateful to the panel. Thank you guys all for taking time out of your Sunday evenings to give this knowledge. Shout out to my brother who is actually watching. He actually just sent me a screen grab, so it's good to know that my kid brother is watching. That's gonna do it. We will see you guys next week. Same, I don't want to say bad time. Same time, same channel, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Thank you guys all for watching. This is gonna be the old outro, but it's better than nothing. Take care.